Welcome everybody to a new video, and today I have a guest for this video,
Hello.
and that's Willemijn. And we're gonna be chatting about OCD, recovery, whatever, and I have just some questions for the both of us to answer, and then we can chat about those. So let's get into it.
Yes. So we know each other from the mental fitness Discord server. Actually, I think I saw you the first time on that workshop day in Rotterdam with Mark. And I saw you a couple of times online because Mark was sharing these videos. So that's how.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we first met during the workshop. So the Mental Fitness Discord server is an online community that's set up by Mark Freeman, and we are both in that Discord server. And Mark was doing a workshop in Rotterdam, and I think that's where we first saw each other, but we didn't really
No.
talk.
Yeah,
because we're in like separate groups.
Yeah.
And then we also had a meetup with the server
Yeah.
with like people that live in the Netherlands or live close. And I think that's where we like first spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess we're both into sharing about mental health, recovery. You also share about stuttering, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So we thought it was a good idea to do a collab.
Yes. And it feels very interesting to speak English, even though we both speak the same Dutch. But yes.
Yes, we've been speaking Dutch the whole time, and now we've
We
switched.
have to switch to English, yes.
But it's going well so far.
Yes.
And if we can't think of a word, we can just say the Dutch words
Yeah.
to each other, and I'll put a subtitle.
Yes.
So what's been like a shift in my approach, whereas when I first learned that I was struggling with OCD and I got the diagnosis, I was very focused on getting rid of the obsessions. They were very distressing, and I wanted to get rid of them. But also when I got therapy, the therapy was also very focused on getting rid of that stuff. And I think what's been a really useful shift in my approach is that now I'm not waiting for things to be gone or to fix stuff and then I can live my life. Now the practice is about living my life. And as I do that, I try to like cut out compulsions and not engage as much with the stuff that used to bother me a lot. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, of course I have probably the same approach because it's from Mark. For me, it was also this shift of focusing on learning to live my life, or like focusing more on the things that I want to grow in my life instead of focusing on all the things that I want to get rid of. Because I can still have like maybe some thoughts that some would label as intrusive, but like I don't worry about it, so then it's no problem.
Yeah. I think it's a really nice goal to just not label thoughts as intrusive or to just to be able to have any thought or feeling.
Yeah.
It's definitely still something I'm working on and something that I can also still struggle with. But it's already super helpful that I just identify things that I want to do and I do them even if I have intrusive thoughts during the activity or before. I still stick to it, and that's already been like a huge change for me.
Yeah, I think my OCD theme, even though we don't really use that term, I think, but my topics weren't that much about intrusive thoughts, so I only had that at the end of when I was really struggling with it.
So what was like stuff you were struggling with, if you want to share anything about that?
For me, it was more about holding on to feelings, I think. It was more about having happy feelings, holding on to happy feelings. And I wasn't really worried about thoughts. I was worried about it at the end. But yeah, it was more about I have to hold on to this feeling and stuff like that. Yeah.
And is there then like a fear underneath, like a fear of being depressed or
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Yeah, it was the fear of being depressed. Yeah, fear of being unhappy my whole life. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
That can be a
yeah,
distressing fear.
it's not nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
What I also found interesting is like you mentioned themes, and the I guess two people can struggle with the same theme, but there might be a different
yeah,
fear underneath.
yeah,
And it's also been very useful for me to kind of identify which fears are like underneath the themes and work more on tackling those.
yeah.
And I don't even need to specifically focus on a theme, whereas
No, yeah.
when I got therapy, it was very focused on, okay, which theme is
Oh,
most
really?
distressing to you? And
Oh,
we're gonna just do scripts about it,
oh,
and now the work is more about, okay, what fears underneath,
yeah,
how can we actually see that you care about it, and how can you do
yeah,
something with that care instead of the fear.
yeah.
It's very good to have that awareness, I feel like.
Yeah, and also focusing more on your behaviors of controlling things, like in every aspect, instead of only on the feared things. Because a lot of people in the OCD community talk about like switching themes, like, oh, this theme was finally over, and now I suddenly have this other theme. But yeah, so that's why it helps to just focus on all the behaviors. I feel
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. It's just the same thing with a
yeah,
different theme,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a different outfit. Yeah.
That was what I was looking for. I was thinking of the Dutch saying in een ander jasje.
Oh yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah,
I recently watched a bunch of videos of like, do you know Louis van Gaal
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and his English, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he like translates Dutch sayings
Oh, yeah.
into
Very
English,
literally.
and
Yeah.
it's so funny.
In a different jacket. Yeah.
That's different cook.
Now we have to play against Chelsea. In the Netherlands they say that is another cook. I don't know if it is in English like that, but
Okay, so I'm trying not to do that
Yeah.
in my videos. Wat kunnen we nu, wat we eerst niet
Oh,
konden,
maar
of-
zoveel. Ja.
Ja, als het bij jou veel is, dan mag jij beginnen.
Ja. So a lot has changed. Like there were things, very basic things I wasn't able to do really that I can do now. For example, reading a book.
Nice.
I just couldn't have the focus to read a book because I was like trying to chase away intrusive thoughts. And like, yeah, so many things that just in daily life, very normal things that I can do now that I couldn't do before. It's hard to remember some of them actually. Do you have an example?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is that I can be more consistent with a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas first I was kind of all over the place, and now I can consistently care for myself, like just stuff like cleaning my
Oh,
studio
yeah,
each
yeah,
week.
yeah.
It sounds so simple, but I didn't do that before. And I try to like visit my parents each week, and I can just nourish these things that I care about, like my social connections, but also my own living space, because I've learned how to do that consistently and not just run after the brain all day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's been so useful. I can remember a time where I was doing very poorly, and I was going on a trip, and my parents came and picked me up to like drop me off at the train station, and my whole studio was like a mess. Like I didn't have the capacity to like clean anything up, or like I just couldn't. I mean, I maybe I could have, but
Yeah,
I
no,
chose
yeah,
not to
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think like my parents must have noticed, because when I came back, the whole studio
Oh.
was cleaned up, which was very nice.
So sweet.
But that's like a good example of something that,
Yeah.
I just didn't do it.
Yeah. So you are more proactive now.
Exactly.
Yeah. A big difference for me is that I can handle feelings. Like before, I would every couple of months or maybe every year, once a year, I would have this trigger where I would become depressed, or like I would fear that I would become depressed, and I would just spend a whole month trying to fix that and being stressed about it. And then at some point I fixed it and I came out of it. But now I can just handle that fear, and I just feel a bit scared or a bit depressed, and it just happens. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go on with my day. So I can just handle things, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have way more trust in myself to handle things. So I am way more spontaneous with doing things, like doing this video. Even though before starting I was like, wait, how do I do this actually? Because I've never really done a video like this before, but I'm just like, yeah, just trying it out, being more okay with uncomfortable feelings and stuff like that. Yeah, and that just applies to so many things. Yeah, it's a big change.
I think that's pretty similar for me also with like doing the videos and just saying yes to stuff. Like
Yeah.
whereas first I would have avoided a bunch of stuff, like the interview I have coming up tonight, like I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just taking opportunities is also a difference. So another thing I noticed, and this is something that I'd like to like keep progressing, but before I could get stuck on a topic for days ruminating about it, and now I can still get stuck on something, but it's so much shorter.
Yeah.
Like I'm much better at like dropping stuff, but I want to get even better.
Oh,
Like
yeah. Yeah.
you know, like judgment is the first compulsion, like that kind of thing where you
Yeah.
have a thought and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like dropping that is also super useful. It's something that I still want to work on, but I can already see that I can drop things easier, a lot easier than I would have in the past. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can relate to that because, like a couple months ago, I had this moment where a trigger happened that would normally send me into a spiral for about 2 months or something, and I think I dropped it after 2 days. So yeah,
So,
it's
a lot.
quick, but yeah, I'm still judging it, and then very quickly I'm like, wait, why? What? No, I'm trying to fix it, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, what? Yeah. But it just kind of automatically, because it was like my biggest fear thing again. So that's why it's hard sometimes. But as soon as I understand what I'm doing, I'm like, oh wait, I can stop actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more you have done it, the easier it becomes, because you remember it from the last time that you were already able to drop it soon. So then you can repeat that.
My approach has changed from like fixing stuff to more looking at, okay, what do I want to spend my time on? And it's been a lot about social stuff because I had a lot of fears around social connections. So that's always something that I'm working on, like my relationships, but also like sharing about mental health through my videos. And that also helps me connect to people like we are doing now in person, but also I really enjoy it when people reach out and I get to connect with people online. So that's a big thing that I'm working on now. And also being able to have quiet moments or just do one thing at a time, stuff that I would judge as boring or that I would normally start ruminating. Just being comfortable being on my own is also something that I'm working on, and I think is really so useful.
Yeah. Yeah, for me also the boredom thing. Because yeah, what I'm working on now, it's nice that your answer was more about something you want to grow, because my first answer was more like, I want to get rid of this compulsion.
No, but
Yeah,
cutting
I mean,
out compulsions
yeah,
is very
still,
useful.
but it has to have a purpose. Like if it's just because I want to cut out the compulsion, then I will keep cutting. Like that's what Mark said. like if the goal is to cut out the compulsion, you keep needing the compulsion to cut it out. So
Yeah.
it has to be more framed in a growing
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But yeah, so how will I frame it? No, but I'm trying to let go of the final compulsion. It feels like the final compulsion for me, which is kind of like holding on to struggle in general.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of the thing for me right now, because I can just feel that I'm purposely doing some compulsions just because I don't like having no problems to fix. Yeah. And it's kind of just a hurdle I have to get over, because it's just gonna feel bad for a while, I think. But I keep procrastinating on it. So yeah.
I think it's so natural that we're so used to always having like a problem to fix or maybe a problem to drop, that
Yeah,
if there just
yeah.
are no problems, then that's
Yeah, because
a big struggle. And also,
yeah,
if you're already doing quite fine,
yeah,
then
yeah,
then it's very important not to rely on motivation, because there isn't that much motivation anymore because things are okay.
yeah,
So
exactly,
it's you need to find a way to, yeah, like you
yeah.
said, get over that last hurdle.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I don't have much motivation for it, so that's why it's difficult. But yeah, I do want to do it. And yeah, for a while I really enjoyed cutting out compulsions, but I enjoyed it a bit too much. So I just went back because yeah, I was like, I have to enjoy cutting out the compulsions. I'm just procrastinating on it. Yeah.
But you've also been working on it, right?
Yes.
We've talked about
Yeah.
this.
It's like gradually it's now at a point where I can pretty much just drop it.
Yeah.
But I don't do it. Yeah, I keep
That's
yeah.
very fair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I keep like I guess still maybe having conversations in my head or like justifying it a little bit
Yeah.
still. So I keep falling into the trap a bit, but I also know that it's not like I can say that now, but when the moment arises that I want to do a compulsion, my head will say something like, "No, but this makes sense. Like you have to do it." Of course, that's how it works.
That's why we shouldn't listen.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, like the main thing is just that I should stop listening to my brain, but which I know.
It's always a good idea.
Yeah, it feels very close that I'm just holding on to it because I'm afraid to let go of the struggle. But I know that I'm able to do it. So yeah. Yeah, I will see how it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm curious. Maybe in a few weeks I have an update. And that's like, yes,
We
I
dropped
did it.
it.
I did it. I dropped it. Yeah, yeah, finally.
Yeah, I'm also planning on making a video somewhere in the future.
Yeah. I am recovered completely. No.
No, but it's already so useful that it doesn't. I don't have to be like perfect to share about what has
No.
been helpful and the approach. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you can, as soon as you already focus on what you want to build, you can already share about it. Like, it doesn't matter how many things you are still doing. If you're more focused on, yeah, on growing things and just letting your thoughts and feelings be, then you're already, yeah, in the right place to share about it. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Ja, ik had misschien ook nog een vraag, maar dat kunnen we...
Voor deze video?
Ja.
Doe het.
De vraag is, want dat moet dan in beeld komen.
Ja.
Ja, more specific, what is something you aren't able to do yet that you want to be able to do? I don't know if that's... Where I want to go is a place where I'm okay with things being okay. Things being boring, things being silent. Even saying it, I get like nerves. I just don't like that feeling, but that's where I want to go.
Nice. I think a concept that I've been exploring lately, and I also might make a separate video on it, is stealing happiness. It's a big struggle for me. I feel like when things are well or I have like a positive experience, then the brain really ramps things up afterwards and really tries to get me to like self-sabotage and do compulsions. So just allowing happiness and good things maybe it's pretty similar.
Yeah, it's funny, yeah.
Is something that I'm working on and I'd like to get better at. It sounds nice.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be my answer.
That's awkward. Yeah, if you want to follow me. I feel like the people that watch this are like
They know both of
know
us.
both of us. Yeah, okay. It's a just stutter. You have to edit it here.
Oh, you're asking a lot of my
No,
editing
or
skills.
in the description. Yeah,
I will put it in the video as well as the description.
nice. All right.
Oh, perfect. Then thanks everybody for tuning in, and
See you next time.
exactly. Wow, die was ziek.
Ja. Oké.
Okay, cool.